I've been to many lands, but none with this much artificial lighting.
Indeed. This nifty little realm is the virtual show floor. Every booth you can see has a game attached with a demo dropping after the show. For those at home, which means all of you, Google Future Games Show Steam, and you can download and try out any of the games that catch your eye.
All right, with that in mind, let's get started with our first game. This is Fairy Afterlight, a stylus Metroidvania inspired by Indonesian philosophy. Players will control Chemo and Wispy, a literally inseparable duo, as they explore the world of Lumina, working together to solve puzzles and defeat fearsome enemies. Well, now I'm missing Atreus all of a sudden. What's next, Danielle?
Always a good father. Lovers of strategy and bootleg booze rejoice as this game covers both in equal measure. Moonshine Inc. is a management sim where players battle it out to brew the best hooch in town. Players will expand their facilities and perfect the making of Mountain Mash while evading the panoptical eye of Johnny Law. With genuine fermentation processes recreated virtually, this sim is as real as it gets. Just make sure you don't get caught. And now for something completely different.
Yes, because we're jumping from moonshine making to a mysterious metropolis. It's time to fear the new blood, as our attention turns to Gloomwood, a grim dark ode to the immersive sims and survival horror greats of the late 90s and early noughties. Players will use all manner of Victorian-era instruments to improvise, adapt, and overcome a town teeming with mischievous mobs. So what are you waiting for? Grab what you can see and get to it. Our next game also involves plenty of improvisation, just with a little bit less focus on monster slang. Care to do the honors?
Of course. This is the Wandering Village, a sandbox city builder set on the back of a gigantic wandering creature called Onbu. In my experience, living with a giant tortoise wasn't so bad, but results may vary. Here, players will battle the elements and research technologies in an effort to revive a long-lost society. Will you settle and survive in this harsh, humbling environment by learning to bond with the beast? Or choose to be a parasite, leeching from its life force? The choice is yours. Where are we off to next?
This game is bound to strike a chord, or maybe a few. Demonic musicians gather their cards in Power Chord, a rogue-like deck builder from Big Blue Bubble. Equip gear and create combos to strum and roar your way through a monster-filled battle of the bands held in grungy grottos and hellish hole-in-the-walls.
Monsters come in all shapes and forms, from demons to dentists, or at least they do in our next game, Never Awake. This is a twin-stick shooter set in the mind of a little girl called Rem. Players will battle their way through 80 levels of her vivid nightmares, each one brimming with creepy manifestations of everything from vegetables to dogs and, yes, even school friends. Its charming art style will have you questioning whether it's creepy, cute, or a great mix of both.
Now, if you'd rather wield fear as a weapon than fight against it, then this next one is for you. The Fabulous Fear Machine is a pulp horror strategic simulation game where players will generate terror and expand their influence through the spread of scary stories and creepy conspiracies. From Bloody Mary to reptilian overlords, let the unexplained mythos of the public consciousness become your ammunition. What have you got for me, Danielle?
I think the question is, what haven't I got? Anno Mutationum is a sleek cyberpunk RPG that blends 2D and 3D graphics to create a rich world that you'll just want to dive into. When you're not bartending or dog-sitting a cyborg corgi, you'll be slashing your way through cybernetic monsters and pursuing criminals in the underbelly of this atmospheric, vibrant neon metropolis.
Our next game will teach you to never underestimate a hero, no matter their size. Misk, a tiny tail, follows Buddy and Bag Boy, adorable makeshift robots working their way through peaceful landscapes to help out their friends and unravel the history of this strange world. Dress up and clean up as you get to know these little parts with big hearts. Just try not to screw up your jumps in the demo.
Well, I can't wait to see what those little guys get up to. But alas, it's time to get back on the Rainbow Bridge because that marks the end of our trip to the virtual show floor. Remember, folks, you can head to the Future Games Show Steam page to check out free demos for all of our featured games.